Hey, so remember how a few days ago we talked about Elfinpsyop? No? Well, then you probably should watch my previous video for more information. So I waited a few days to do a follow-up in case anything else happened, but it seems this will be the last needed update for some time. That said, I'm going to summarize a little bit here, but again, if you want more context, you can watch the previous video. So in my last video, we discussed Elfinpsyop confessing to something pretty wild. She confessed to sending explicit material of herself as a minor, while lying about her age online and to those she sent them to. These photos would later leak online in an act of revenge porn, but because she confessed to being a minor or claimed to be, you can quickly see how this became troublesome. And so essentially by making this statement, she put her haters in a corner, one where they would be responsible for sharing CSAM. Now this alone is a bit of a bombshell, but she has now admitted it was entirely a lie. Yeah, crazy, right? In fact, she went so far as to delete all of her accounts in response to the drama and backlash coming her way. So let's talk about it. Because now, according to Elfin, it was all a psyop. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So the new narrative is that she actually wasn't distributing illegal material. In her statement, she admits she only said that as a way to make her leakers believe they were committing a crime, thus putting them in a position where they would essentially be forced to stop or potentially face some consequences. Which I can understand why she did it, but I don't think she thought through it very long. But why would she fabricate this lie, double down on it, and then later just admit that it was a lie all along? I think looking at her statements, which were dissected by myself and others, gives an explanation into why this whole narrative kind of collapsed and put her into a position where she had to admit it was all a lie or further make up fabrications about the truth. So in a comment after my video, she said the following. She claims here that she only sent explicit photos to people who she trusted and were also quote unquote around her age. But there's one problem with this whole statement. If you remember, she also admitted that she spent her entire career posing as an older adult and claimed that she never told anyone her real age. But if you follow the logic, things don't look particularly great here. If she was a minor posing as an adult and she sent explicit photos to people who she claimed were her age, did she send them to other minors while pretending to be an adult? Or did she lie about that and she sent them to adults while lying she was one of them? There's basically no version of this story she weaved where she wasn't deceiving someone in a way that was obviously dangerous. This would be one of the things I first pointed out on Twitter myself, which showed that her story wasn't exactly lining up. But that wasn't the only thing here. Anytime she would reply to a person saying she sent nudes and illegal content, she doesn't deny it. In fact, she says it was dumb to do so. So, did she send nudes? It would seem so, but she claims otherwise. So in a post that came after her original, she claimed she never sent full-on nudes, and most of the images circulating are AI-produced revenge porn. But I have a question for you, audience. What exactly is a half nude? The wording is very weird, and saying you never sent full nudes still implies there was some partial nudity or explicit content which was sent. In my opinion, this was a walkback and a cover-up. It's her blaming AI and claiming the worst images released were fake, while giving her room to deny that all the images leaked were in fact her. Now, is it possible this is indeed true? Yes, it is. However, this coupled with the inconsistencies and a pattern of lying, which does get later validated, well, it doesn't exactly make me keen to believe her, and I was right not to. In response to what I can only assume was a mounting pressure about what she had confessed to, we will receive a statement from her on her Discord. In this screenshot, she leaves some parting words. She admits within this message that it was all a lie and she wasn't a minor and it wasn't CSAM. She says it was a lie meant to scare off her leakers from further distributing revenge porn, which did clearly have an effect on her. And soon after this admission, things would go dark for her accounts. Her Twitter, her YouTube, and even her Discord got the nuke. Why? Well, she says it here. I've lost. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't want to seem pathetic on stream or have to act nonchalant. And I think in this sentence we start to see a lot about her character. She admits here that she couldn't keep up the act once the pressure got real. She wanted to act unbothered and find a solution to her problems with her haters without giving them leeway to see how it affected her. I think this is why she did what she did, why she baited someone into posting them, and why she felt the need to put on a bravado of you guys were committing a crime all along. In my opinion, she wanted to take control of a situation in a scenario where she's otherwise powerless. And when this attempt failed, as she said, she felt defeated. So she only saw one option left, and that is to stop fighting the battle. Revenge porn is inexcusable, and I think some people got the wrong idea in the last video, somehow coming to the conclusion that I was apathetic to her plight, or somehow blaming her for those images getting leaked. And to be totally clear and direct, I'm not. However, I still believe that her approach and attitude was wrong, but I kind of see now and believe that it was driven by fear and a lack of autonomy for her own situation. Her initial confession and post was careless, and it minimized the severity of what she was claiming. And as we expressed earlier, no matter how you interpreted it, she still wouldn't come out looking clean. So it wasn't exactly something I wanted to look past, because I did believe it was worth talking about. And that's why I thought my last video was important to make a follow-up to, even if others like VTubing Explained could do it just as well. She lied. She lied to her fans, her haters, and in the end, she couldn't keep the narrative under control. And as a result of that, she pulled the plug entirely. Now she has no more fans whose opinions matter, no more haters constantly attacking her online, and no more lies that needed to be told to protect herself. Honestly, it's kind of sad to see. I wasn't fond of Elfinpsyop as a creator, and I don't think I'll exactly miss her presence, but many will. I kind of have a feeling she won't stay gone. I mean, not many VTubers end up doing so when they get cast out, so I think in due time she probably will return, perhaps through a rebrand of herself or something else. Which if she does find a way to, change and grow after her leave, I wouldn't be against that. I think what led to this whole situation was a terrible thing that happened to her. However, how we handle hardships often reflect our own character. And given her track record for, the past 2 years, I'm not exactly holding my breath on change, but it would be nice to see. But if some of those other allegations are true, maybe it's not a good thing if she comes back. That said, I hope this cleared up some of the confusion on what happened next in this situation and how it began to unravel. I fully expect Mugen to make a video covering this and her history online, so that may end up giving you a fuller picture of her character that led us here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and peace out.